The internet used to be a very fun place for us, but it's become a very dangerous place. And a lot of these posts on Twitter are literally fueling people to try to kill us. So let that resonate in your head as we talk about what's going on. So it's been a while since I made one of these videos, but since I don't have any YouTube friends, really, the only person I can defend is myself, pretty much. And I don't want to drag any of my friends into this anyway. But a lot of this, the haters are born from people who are twisting my words and twisting the situation to make it a bigger thing that it is. And what you're doing is you're actually inspiring people to harm us and wish us harm. The 68 screenshots that I've taken on this one post about saying that K-Wing has been super washed and things like that. There were some very dangerous things on there that I already submitted to the police. But let me just explain what's going on, because this will probably take a while, and this is actually very painful to talk about because I'm disgusted by these people. Because this is more than just like, oh, you know, I hate this YouTuber. Literally, it's inspiring people to kill us. We've been married for almost 19 years. We've gone through personal tragedy with miscarriages. And you sick people come up with a brand new lie to make people think like even more worse things about us, and it's not even true. And the funny thing is I see a lot of you guys with my fake accounts talk about things like, oh, I'll DM you about what K-Wing's really like. And some of the things that I've gotten from DMs, oh yes, I've been some of those fake people that have asked for info about K-Wing. And you know what I do with that info? I screenshot it and I give it to the police. So if you're like, oh my God, what's happening? Why am I in trouble? Oh, you are in trouble. You're in hot water, pal. Big time. Because all that information that you believe, some of the things that you're spouting is trying to make someone assassinate us. Over what? Over political differences? Read my lips, you morons. I am not a Trumper. I'm not MAGA. Okay? And even if I was, what you're doing is borderline insane. It really, honest to God, is. The last president I voted for was W. Do you know how long ago that was? Do you have any idea? Well, I know most of you don't even know that George Washington was the first president, so I know I'm asking for a lot with the current generation who's dumber than a post, whose mommy and daddy didn't raise you, television did, and it shows, because when you start to get L's in life, you go crazy. You don't know how to deal with losing. You don't know how to deal with failure, and you don't know how to deal with when someone has a difference than opinion than you. The first thing that you think about is killing them, because you're on the right side of history because your echo chamber tells you so. That's so sad. And yes, I'm making fun of you because you deserve to be made fun of. You deserve to be humiliated. Big time. Because you're an embarrassment as a human. I can't even call you human. You're subhuman. And yes, this is basically like Mr. Rogers saying he hates all his fans. I hate all my ex-fans. I do. I think that they're dangerous and that a lot of them need to be behind bars or they need to be in an insane asylum. Like, this is like, literally, a lot of you became Batman's rogue gallery in real life. I mean, that's just absolutely deranged. You say you love comic books and you love Batman, but you're acting the opposite of what Batman would do. Just think about that for a minute. Really think about that. You say that you're a Batman fan. I see the things that you tweet. I see the things you say in DMs. There is nothing Batman like that at all. I'm just saying. And yeah, you became my hobby, personally. You say I'm crazy. You're right. I am. You pushed me. But that's besides the point. So, the abuse allegations are fake. 100%. And let me tell you something real, okay? My dad is a black belt. If I even touched my wife and he found out, my dad would kick my ass. Literally. Because he didn't raise his son to behave that way. The reason why we wear the type of clothes we do is because we're having financial difficulties. It's easy to buy clothes in bulk because we can't even get to the washer and dryer because our washer and dryer is busted and the landlord refuses to fix it. So we literally wear the same outfit over and over, but it's a new outfit because we can't even get to the laundromat. And because there's people supposedly watching us, we can't even go into town to wash our clothes. So think about that. You have no idea what it's like to live under a microscope like this and be treated like you're the second coming of the Antichrist or something. The reason why we haven't been to conventions in years is because there's an active threat by a Discord and a Twitter person saying that if we ever actually went to do autographs, that they would stab me in the face and rape my wife, for one. And it's over my stance of non-binary comic book characters. The fact that I don't like what they did with Tim Drake, apparently my opinion is worthy of death. This is the world we live in. Okay? The swatting attempt, the first one, was over me playing a Harry Potter video game, and a certain group did not like that. And the second one was from a tweet because I said that a biological man can't be a real woman. That is a universal truth. And because I said that, someone wants to kill me over it. And what's funny is there'll be no videos made about this. We are so beaten down by internet society that we have no one in our corner. The only person that we have that's keeping us alive is God. That is the one person you guys will never defeat. When I mean you guys, I'm talking directly to the haters. I would never talk this way to our supporters. But it's funny is most of our haters are turned into haters because of a game of telephone. So what does that mean? Okay. So there's two major rumors going on about Amber and I. Actually three, because apparently I'm cheating on her. That's a new one. But the three rumors are that 5 people have died because of me. Amber is physically and verbally abused. And I'm cheating on my wife with a girl in New Jersey because of all my New Jersey jokes. So, yeah, Amber and I are very tense on live streams because 2025 has been an interesting, fun year for video games, but it's been a very difficult year for us in our life because, you know, it's hard to have thousands of strangers on the internet hate you for stupid reasons. You know, I can understand if I committed an actual real crime or something, or Amber and I robbed a bank, or, like, I don't know. I can't even believe I'm having this conversation. This is insane. But yeah, so they say that I beat up my wife and that you can tell on live streams. And not realizing that most normal husband and wife do not live stream 10 hours a day. They can't. You know why? Because they would fight. Amber and I have no choice but to live stream all the time, and people still want to keep trying to beat us while we're down. Actually, they're trying to curb stomp us, basically. It's not enough that we only have 30, 40, 50, or 100 people watching us. They want us to have 0. They say they don't want us canceled, but they try to cancel us every day. They're paying people to DDoS us. So, you don't have to deal with what we have to deal with. I would say that Amber and I are pretty strong as a couple. And we've known YouTube couples that have broken up for petty reasons. And some real sad ones, like that, you know, somebody cheated on somebody, there was infidelity. But some of the reasons why they divorce is over money. It's over, you know, feeling like they don't love each other because they were mad at each other for a week. You know? Or because they're staying in another room. All kinds of reasons. We've been together almost 19 years, for our marriage. And we're pretty proud of that, actually. And yeah, the miscarriages hurt. It's not a day that Amber and I don't think about our son and how old he would be. And to know that there are evil people that celebrate it like it's some type of holiday or something is Pretty messed up. So I'm sorry if I sound annoyed or angry on live streams. I have a lot going on. Not only am I playing junior detective, gathering information myself or with my spies, and, basically doing that to the point where, yeah, I am obsessed about that because I will catch the perpetrator. I come from a family of police officers. I know what I'm doing. And part of that is because of my deep belief in justice. I want to see justice served. I really do. I want a lot of these people in jail. And I have faith that it'll happen someday, because the thing is with evil people that you have to understand is they make mistakes. They slip up. They get sloppy. They get boastful. They think that they're doing great, and then they spill the beans in TMs. Idiots. But, yeah, the abuse stuff is not real. Is it possible that there have been people who have self-deleted because of fear of, police prosecution? Probably. I don't care. Why should I care? I'm not going to comment any more on that, but you know what? If that's true, that just means karma caught up with you. I'm not stopping my investigation. I still have loads of evidence to give the police. You guys are giving me so much information all the time. You could just, be quiet, stay in your lane, but you just keep talking. You're literally damning yourselves. And the sad thing is most of you have so many things wrong because you heard this from one person, and then you go and you twist it. You're like, so the flavor of the week a couple of years ago was K-Wing is verbally abusive to his wife. And then they were like, you can tell that he's really hitting her. And now it's like, we have evidence that he's really hitting her. And it keeps changing. So before, I told people years ago that I got into fights in high school. And now it came to the point where I was beating up black kids in high school. When that's not even how the fight happened. It had nothing to do with race. Actually, I was pressured to buy cigarettes at knife point. And I said no. And these guys kept pestering me. Their skin color didn't matter. So I fought back. And I was very lucky. And I did not hold back. I did not stay there and keep beating the people up. I hit them really hard in the back of the head, in the groin, in the back of the neck, and I left. And the police came, and the attacker's dad came, and he took my side and said his son was a tool, and I didn't get arrested. But I was jumped at my car another time. I fought back. And right before I graduated high school, somebody tried to do something in the locker room, the boys' locker room, and I smashed his head against the locker because he tried to do something. Those are the only instances. I never went looking for fights, because the reason why I took martial arts in the first place was so I wouldn't be picked on by bullies. So I wasn't going to turn around and become a bully. So that slanderous stuff that people are saying around, that I was going around beating up poor kids, is not true. The true story is someone tried to probably kill me at 18 years old, and I defended myself and contacted a teacher, and I got in trouble for fighting. I went to a very rough school outside of Chicago, and, maybe it could have been because I was a New York kid and they had something they wanted to prove. I don't know. I'll never know. But sometimes, I wonder, like, could that have been avoided? And I don't think so, because I was older than everybody. I was pressured to buy cigarettes for people that shouldn't be smoking. They were underage, 16 and 17. And as a Christian, I wasn't going to buy people drugs. You'd think they would take the hint when I'm walking around with a Gideon Bible in my leather jacket, but no. So, I did everything I could to not escalate things. But I can tell you what didn't happen. I didn't stand there over people's, unconscious bodies and keep wailing on them. Life's not a video game. I was over the age of 18. I could be tried as an adult for assault and battery. I just tried to get out of the situation. Okay? But I'm not some hard-nosed vigilante. As the person I am now, all these years later, I have neuropathy. I can't move around very much. So there's no way that I am roundhouse kicking my wife when I probably can't even do a roundhouse kick. And I wouldn't even think about that. To make these weird allegations, if it was possible to sue each and every one of you that said that, I would in a heartbeat. It was possible to make sure you suffered some type of fine or got fired from your job for joking about that kind of stuff, I would see it happen. The internet used to be such a fun place where we could, even if we had differences of opinions, we could talk about comic books and video games and at least be civil to one another. What you've proven is a stereotype that I've been, formulating for years about how your side behaves. And you really haven't disappointed or even given me any credible reason why you guys are not the villains in society. You don't act like civilized people. You don't. My fan base that has stayed normal, they became really upstanding members of society. What do most of you guys joke about that became haters? Burning down Teslas, burning down buildings and saying corporations will pay for that. It's disturbing. I'm ashamed that you were ever part of my fan base because I don't want you. If there was a way to delete our time together, I would go back and do it in a heartbeat because you don't deserve to watch my content because you took all my life lessons and you threw them in the trash. You're basically the slugs of society, and I am embarrassed to have ever made content for you to watch because you are the polar opposite of the target audience that I was reaching out for. I was trying to teach people about comic books and superheroes, and you literally became the villains of your own story. You're a disgrace. An utter, absolute disgrace. And if you see me as someone who fell off, I don't really care. Because in my eyes, you're on the road to hell. And you deserve it. So I don't want to hear one Christian get on my case because you do not live my life. But yeah, speaking of Christians, we have no support from the church anyway, because they believe that what we do for a job is demonic. We've never received financial support. We've never even really received any prayer from churches because they want us to change our line of work because we play video games. And that's a problem because that's the devil's entertainment. So our window of support in this world, it's Amber and I against everyone. And we just have our supporters that stayed sane and decent people. That's it. The rest of the internet, in our eyes, you guys literally became psychopaths. And it's sickening to know that there's thousands of people out there that are just so weird. It's heartbreaking. So if people bring up stuff about, beating up Amber and all this nonsense, please direct it to this video as well as take a screenshot of that and DM me so I can add it to the police report. I can understand if you don't like my content anymore and you don't want to watch it, that's fine. Whatever. But to make this villainous idea of me in your mind to the point of wanting to literally send us to heaven is just beyond insane.